Before beginning this module, I wholeheartedly agreed with the current government's position on education. However, as I completed my research, this changed. Currently, the United Kingdom's government favours the development of knowledge over that of the individual, believing that doing so will create a more equal and educated society. While this is broadly true, there still exist many gaps in society due to the various differences between pupils, such as their social class or race. While the current education system produces capable and educated individuals, it is my belief that it can and should be improved upon. I believe that a high quality education should be available and accessible to all, regardless of individual differences. It should allow the child to develop at their own pace and nurture the individual's well-being and emotional development, while also preparing them for the world outside of school and later life by teaching essential skills and societal norms and values. During my research, my ideology surrounding how the education system should operate received influence from the works of many theorists. However, few had as profound an effect as Montessori and Steiner. While the two theorists' ideas differ slightly, their core ideologies align, with both advocating for a more child-centered approach towards education. Both Montessori and Steiner agree that the child should be at the center of their own education and should be given adequate time and space to develop at their own pace, with the teacher acting as a guide rather than as an instructor. While the work of both Montessori and Steiner has been shown to produce better exam results and less stressed pupils, issues have arisen with the legitimacy of some of the research associated with the efficacy of a Montessori education and the lack of control observed in some Steiner schools. Although many pupils do perform well in the current education system, there is a degree of inequality and a lack of inclusive practice seen in regards to ensuring that all pupils are capable of learning. And while there are issues in the approaches of Montessori and Steiner, I believe that aspects could and should be integrated into the existing curriculum. I believe that schools should allow younger pupils to spend more time exploring at their own pace, similar to Montessori's teachings, and also encourage teachers to take on more of a mentor-like role to direct and encourage this exploration, similar to Steiner's kindergartens. In doing so, I believe that pupils will receive a more welcoming introduction to the school environment, begin to develop essential social skills, and be better equipped to move into more knowledge-based topics. Effective dialogue in the classroom is important to the continuing development of the child. Alexander recognized this and believed that the current education system does not utilize dialogue to its full potential, and considered the impact of placing a greater emphasis onto it. His theory, known as dialogic teaching, focused on the development of pupils' communication skills and aimed to inspire greater discussion in the classroom. Alexander believed that through increased dialogue, pupils could better learn from each other and increase their metacognitive skills. This integration is achieved through the teacher's use of the four key repertoires: talk for everyday life, learning talk, teaching talk, and classroom organization, which outline how to introduce and use Alexander's theory in practice. Although Hattie and investigations by the Education Endowment Foundation have found that Alexander's approach can have an extremely positive effect on attainment, it is criticized for inciting unnecessary conversation in the classroom. In my opinion, for a pupil to learn and progress effectively, they must understand how they best learn, be able to communicate with one another, and be able to work cooperatively. Alexander's theory, through the use of the four repertoires, provides a structure for teachers to build their encounters and lessons around, allowing for a more social education than that proposed by the current curriculum. In addition, I believe that using the work of Alexander alongside the theories of Montessori and Steiner would allow the child to build upon and further develop the social skills they acquired in the early years, creating a more rounded individual. By moving towards active dialogue and reducing the focus on written work, I believe a more inclusive and equal education can be achieved. It is my belief that a child's education should adequately prepare them for later life, work, and help them to assimilate effortlessly into wider society. Currently, the national curriculum aims to inspire knowledge in its pupils to allow them to progress and contribute towards society. And while unemployment has decreased in recent years, there has also been an increase in younger individuals that are not in education, employment, or training. To this extent, it is my belief that the education system should adopt a more functionalist approach. Functionalists believe that society functions much like a living organism, with every aspect being connected and interdependent. As such, from a functionalist point of view, the education system feeds directly into wider society, with pupils being socialized to better contribute and benefit society. Functionalist theorists also believe that it is important that all individuals are treated as equals within education, and believe in taking a meritocratic approach in the allocation of pupils. This view is countered by Marxist theorists who believe that meritocracy and equality of education is merely a method of control utilized by the ruling elite to legitimize their beliefs and maintain control of the working class. While the current education system aims for pupil equality, there are still significant gaps in attainment between different class and racial groups, which I believe could be further reduced with a greater focus on meritocracy. I also believe that it is important that pupils are taught how to best integrate into society and work, and that these skills should form a central pillar of the national curriculum. With a greater focus on socialization, similar to the previous theorists, I believe that pupils would be better equipped for the world of work, and by ensuring that pupils are prepared for life outside of education and that they have been taught in a meritocratic environment, potentially a more equal and cohesive society could be achieved. In summary, it is my belief that the education system should aim to provide an equal and inclusive education. This can be achieved by accounting for individual differences, by letting younger pupils develop at their own pace, introducing a more dialogic approach to allow for closer and more beneficial pupil-teacher relationships, and by structuring later education to prepare pupils for the world of work and help them to integrate into wider society. While it can be argued that the prerequisite theories that comprise my ideology are not without criticism, it is still my belief that the benefits of the chosen individual aspects outweigh the limitations of their respective theories.